Well, Disney made some headlines with some of the announcements that they made at D23 about different lands and attractions that would be coming to the Disney parks. And almost just as big, or perhaps even bigger than those announcements, was the news that followed, where we saw Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island were going to go away to make room for the Cars Frontierland edition, which don't get me started on that. And then also, it's been rumored that the Monsters Inc. land that is going to go into Hollywood Studios may end up taking over Muppet Vision, which has a lot of fans upset about that as well. So we have an article here from Blog Mickey talking about how some of those rumors may be fueled by some recent things that they've done in the parks, and kind of go over all of that. So hi, I'm Jared with Capture the Magic. And again, this from Blog Mickey says Muppet Vision 3D removed from extended evening hours attraction lineup, fueling closure rumors ahead of Monsters Inc. land construction. So by the way, Disney has basically come out and said that they don't know yet where this land is going to go, which is quite astonishing after announcing it, that they don't know where it's going to go. But that's what's fueling a lot of these rumors here. So after an official announcement that Muppet Vision 3D would be part of the upcoming extended evening hours at Disney's Hollywood Studios, the attraction has quietly been removed from the attraction lineup. Fan speculation has been rampant in weeks since the D23 Expo about where an announced Monsters Inc. land would be placed within Disney's Hollywood Studios. Disney World has not announced where the land will be built. The two prevailing theories are that Monsters Inc. land will be either built in the animation courtyard or Muppets courtyard, with the latter receiving a lot of backlash from loyal fans of the Muppets franchise. In the days immediately following the D23 Expo, a report started circulating saying that Disney themselves hasn't even decided where to build Monsters Inc. land, and the two pieces of concept art released during Chairman Josh DeMaro's keynote presentation show conflicting areas within Hollywood Studios, which is true. The different concept art, it's for two different areas if you really take a look at it. Of course, the exclusion of Muppets Vision 3D from extended evening hours in and of itself is not terribly notable. As you may know, Rise of the Resistance isn't even offered during the extra hours perk offered to deluxe resort guests. What is noticeable is that Muppet Vision 3D was originally listed and then quietly removed. Muppet Vision 3D was offered during the 2023 version of the event, and the attraction webpage for Muppet Vision 3D still has operating hours during extended evening hours. Walt Disney World has not responded to requests for more information about the placement of Monsters Inc. land, and they have not yet responded to a request for comment about the recent removal of Muppet Vision 3D from extended evening hours. Similar to the Cars themed expansion at Magic Kingdom, fans are hoping that Walt Disney World will provide clarity on where Monsters Inc. land will be built to. Disney says that the construction will begin next year for Monsters Inc. land, and that the first ever suspended roller coaster at a Disney theme park. This whole thing about it not being part of the extended evening hours could mean that Muppet Vision 3D is going away. But also, there was a tweet. I can't find the tweet, but it was from somebody who worked at Disney that said basically the office space in Hollywood Studios they were going to have to move somewhere else. They were all being moved out of that space and going somewhere different. The reason that's important is because over in the animation courtyard, what is behind Star Wars Launch Bay, which is another rumored area where this land may go, is a whole bunch of offices for like break rooms and administrative offices that have been part of Hollywood Studios since it was built. So if they were going to use that area, they would have to basically just get rid of all of that area and then build new in the park. So the fact that some people were saying that office space was going to be moved is some indication. I suppose it could go in animation courtyard. I think the rumor for sure that I don't see any reason as to why it would go there, it doesn't make any sense really, is Rock and Roller Coaster. Now, some people are speculating because Aerosmith is, an older band to begin with, but they just recently, they're not going to tour anymore because Steven Tyler said his voice is gone. So they're basically a retired band. But it doesn't make any sense to put the Monsters Inc. thing back there, because if you're needing more capacity in your park, you would be replacing one ride, which, Rock and Roller Coaster still gets a pretty good amount of people coming through there, usually a pretty decent wait time for it. But you'd be exchanging one popular ride for another one. So you're basically essentially back where you started. So it would make sense that they would either go into the animation courtyard or even the Muppets courtyard. Now, personally speaking, I would rather Muppets stick around because I like the Muppets, but it's not the most popular of IPs, and they've tried to make it work in the parks before, and it really just never has worked. At least, I think part of the issue, obviously, Jim Henson isn't around anymore. So the Muppets just really hasn't caught on in recent times like it did back in the 80s and 90s. But ideally, I think most people would be fine with it going the animation courtyard. You're talking about, there's some kid stuff in there, which I know our kids have enjoyed through the years, but those things could be moved and replaced somewhere else. And Launch Bay doesn't make any sense in Hollywood studios how you have three different Star Wars locations that don't really play well with each other. Just it's kind of weird. So I think most people would be happy if it went in there, but I guess that this fuels some of the rumors that it could be taking out the Muppets courtyard. So I guess maybe at some point Disney will decide where they're going to put this land that they have announced that they're going to do. But I guess until then, we'll continue to speculate. So you would think sometime soon, if they're breaking ground next year, they would let everybody know. Their hesitancy on announcing it does make me think maybe they're thinking twice about where to put this, because whether or not they want to admit it or not, a lot of the fan base isn't the most happy with Disney and a lot of the things they've been doing in the parks. Maybe they're being a little bit more reactive to that, and maybe the outcry you've heard from people could potentially save it. We'll have to wait and see on that. But that's going to be it, though, for this video. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel, as we do lots of coverage here of Disney World, Universal Studios, Epic Universe, and pop culture. And let us know in the comments, do you think Muppet Vision 3D being removed from extended evening hours is any indication that Monsters Inc. Land may go in here? And until next time, we will see you in the parks.